All right. We're here. We made it. We're live. All right. What a day. All right. Let's get it going here. Where are we at? Let's lower this music down for one. All right. We're here. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Monday Night Live. I am your host, Jordon Cox. Welcome in. Hello, everybody. Hi. How we doing? We're here. Another great weekend and week of racing to talk about. We'll talk about the Dirt Track Untold gentlemen and their racing weekend. But everybody come on in. Let me know you're here. Say hey in the chat, whether you are viewing from YouTube or from Facebook. Come on in. Let me know that you've made it and that we've made it. And let's chit chat a little bit before we get into some stuff here. And if you're watching a replay of this later on and it's not live, don't be afraid to say hey. And whether you enjoyed the show or not, drop a comment. Make sure you like the video if you like what you're seeing. Sorry, it's my face that you're seeing, but all right. Hi, Michael Butler on Facebook. Hi, I am here. How are you, sir? I am good. Thank you for asking. What is on the schedule for this week's stream? Well, we're going to talk about Mr. Billy Pauch Jr., Mr. Michael Mahaney, and their weekend, their long weekend of racing. Michael's been busy. Billy did some racing too. Got a lot to talk about between those two and their racing escapades. We'll get into some of the national touring stuff, and then we'll wrap it up with our Northeast modified stuff up here. And then we'll talk about anybody. If you got anybody has something they want to talk about, hit me up. Let us know what you want to talk about. Any of the stuff that happened this weekend. A lot of racing going on with the 4th of July weekend. Hopefully everybody had a nice, safe 4th of July weekend. I know that me and my family and friends, we all enjoyed ourselves. Let me know how yours was. Let me get my comments thing going here. It's active. There we go. Dave, how you doing? Tim, how you doing from your Weedsport? No, I want this up. There we go. Alrighty. Wally, how you doing over on Facebook? Mike, I know you're viewing from Facebook. You just told me that, but thank you, Mike. Mike Butler, everybody. Second place in the Crate Sportsman Saturday night at New Egypt Speedway. Albert, hello. Appreciate it, Wally. Thank you for viewing from wherever, whether it's Facebook or YouTube. I appreciate it. John, hey, how you doing? Hey, Amy. Steven, thank you. Pop Clay, how you doing, buddy? Albert, Mike is not running New Egypt. It'll just be Billy. I think Mike had himself a busy week. And I think they're going to take a little time off there. Well, not talking about that, Mike Clay, but... And if well, I know Mike Butler will be. We'll be there tomorrow. The short load concrete team will be racing tomorrow, if anybody cares, in the crate division. But if Mr. Mahaney will not be attending New Egypt Speedway. Yes, Mikey, we all had a great 4th of July until you decided to tackle your wife and then got yourself in trouble. I said for you to race her, not tackle her. But hey, you heard what you wanted to hear. Dave said, yeah, Dave, yeah, doing great. Caught 3 of Mike's races, Land of Legends, Albany, and Weed Sport. He finished pretty good. Land of Legends, he ran good. Weed Sport, he ran good. Albany, not so much. For him or Billy. Whoa, there's a name I didn't think I'd see. It's the Lead Sled. Thanks for coming in, bud. Yeah, Mike is viewing on Facebook. Hey, it's all good, Clay. Clay, don't worry about it. We're all informed that Mike Mahaney is not running tomorrow and that Mike Butler is. Hey, Jim. Jim Mahaney's made an appearance now. Long week, you're right. I know, I was going through all the results and I'm like, dang, these boys were hard at it this weekend. Lots of racing. What do we have? We had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we're looking at 5 straight days. You boys, tongue must have been dragging. Got a win in there. We got a win in there to start it off. And then it was kind of an up and down week for Mike and the 35 team. Now, if I do that, I hope it just gets rid of it on my screen. Anyway. Hopefully I didn't just do that for everybody. Well, glad to hear everyone had a nice, safe 4th of July. Hopefully everyone's 4th of July weekend was nice, safe, and fun. And beverages were enjoyed. And some good food. I sure hope she is, Mike. She doesn't have to, but she does. She does that for me. I appreciate that. Alrighty. Can I be? I can't see what it was. You're a top fan. Led, you're a top fan? What are you doing, buddy? What am I seeing there? John says, my 4th July was great. I went back to work today to relax. Okay. Hey, there you go. Let's see, Daniel. Yeah, you're bringing up a good point. Not many modifieds at Bridgeport. A lot of, and actually Russell just said the same thing over on Facebook. Not a good showing for Bridgeport with only 13 modifieds. Daniel saying right here on the screen, not many modifieds at Bridgeport. Yeah, a lot of people noticing that as well. I mean, you post your results and there's only so many cars. It's racing in the area right now. Offer up your opinion. It's just how it's going right now. This time of year, car counts drop as it is. You always see the car counts drop in, late June into July and into August. The summer months. Everyone's, the guys that aren't going to race full time, they're taking their vacations. So you're not going to see certain cars. But the car counts didn't start off great to begin with. At either New Egypt Speedway or Bridgeport. I mean, there's some other tracks that I'm looking at the results when it comes to the modifieds up here in the Northeast, and the car counts are low. I mean, I watch Mike's stuff at Airborne; their car counts are low. It's just the way it is. It's a shame. I mean, maybe there's a bigger conversation that needs to be had when it comes to the price of things and all that. I mean, it's tough. By no means am I trashing Bridgeport or anything in any way. I know the racetrack is tough on the cars and the equipment and the drivers, but it's still a great track run by really great people. And I don't want to see the car counts get so low that they have to start making some tough decisions. But it's a shame to see, regular Saturday night, nice weekend show, and a low car count. So it's tough to see. I don't know what the crowd was like. I don't know if they still had a really good crowd. Hopefully, and I didn't get to see any highlights or anything from Bridgeport. Hopefully the racing was at least still good and they put on a show for the fans that were there. I know from a New Egypt standpoint, great crowd. Full field of, or close to a full field of modifieds. I think they had 22, 23, maybe they had 24 cars. I mean, that's a full field. Full field of great cars. I think they had, however many, probably 20 something or close to sprint. I know they had a lot of sprint cars. So it was a good weekend for them. The holiday weekend just didn't work out for Bridgeport. Right, Clay. Yeah, that's kind of, I agree. Holiday weekend, Dennis saying, Smooth Shoes on a roll. Keep it going. Yeah, I mean, what's he at now? 5 wins? Are we at 5? John Robert saying, it sure was nice to see the car counts up at NES and great to see the crowd. Yeah, that was a great crowd and good car count. Absolutely. Great to see. Well, Russell, yeah, bringing up a great point. The sportsman division seems to be taking over the mod counts. That seems to be everywhere because that's where it's affordable to run is the crate division. And you have a better chance, you stand a better chance of winning. That's how I would look at it. A crate motor's not cheap now. It's still about $8,000. Now it's about $8,000 out the door for just that motor in a crate. But still cheaper than when you're talking about a spec motor, a good one, $20,000-$25,000 plus. And if don't even get me started on those open motors and the big blocks, what they cost. And you can run just about anything else in that equipment. So, or the same type of equipment around the rest of the car. So. It seems the sprint cars at Land of Legends and Weedsport burned the track off and the modifieds couldn't find any grip. Well, that's similar to what happened in New Egypt. Sprint cars kind of burned the track off there too, and modifieds still were able to put on a good show. The track was still pretty good. It was done by the time the crates got out there, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's what happens when sprint cars are on the card. I mean, it is what it is. It just is what it is. As long as the sprint cars put on a good show, it's fine. Airborne has 15 to 16 358s. It's pretty good. You're not wrong. It's pretty good, but I mean, a full field of cars is 20, 24, 25 cars. So you're lacking 10 cars. It's just a shame I mean, they're quality race cars and that's great. So you're still getting a good show. But when racetracks used to be running consies and sending guys home and you got 20 to 25 of the best, the best of the best every single night, guys were, you're, as a fan, you got more bang for your buck. You got a better show. I'm glad to see that the track is getting good car count, but it needs to be better across the board. Joe says 27 crates and 8. Yes, yeah, yeah, right. Once they include the rookies, they had 26, 27 cars. Yeah, and that's good. That's good. That's about what we had last year too. I think it was right around 30. So not too much change there. Jim, you think maybe you race too much? Maybe. It's possible. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it does spread thin, as you look throughout the area. I mean, listen, this brings up a topic that's been going on, at least when it comes to the New Jersey racetrack. I'll just use the New Jersey racetracks as an example. We have two dirt racetracks. We have New Egypt Speedway and Bridgeport Speedway. That both are running Saturday nights. Both, in one way or another, are struggling with some car counts. As you see, New Egypt had their, full field of mods and a good car count for the crate cars. That was not the case for Bridgeport. Every time this happens between one racetrack or the other, the conversation starts, well, should one racetrack move to a different night? Does that solve the problem? Does that make the problem bigger? What are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to try to pick one of these tracks to run a different night? Or are we supposed to just run one of them into the ground until we're only at one racetrack? Or do we just sit here with one of them only getting 12, 13, 14 modifieds and the other one gets 25 or plus? What are we supposed to do here? It's a tough conversation to have, is where we're supposed to be with that. I don't know. I'm going to put your comment up here, Dave. Run the sprints after the modifieds. Yeah! Them damn sprint cars. No. Hey, they put on a great show, too. The 305s put on that was a good race. Congrats to Tanner on the win. It was his first at New Egypt. I don't know if it was his first overall, but the 305s put on a good show in New Egypt. That was fun to watch. Yeah, that's roughly what it was, yeah. It was 25 mods. Tanner Van Dorn bringing up a good point over here on Facebook. A spec motor costs as much as an open motor. Well, that's just it. I mean, are the motors, and Russell with the comment up above you, too many motors out there with the rules in every state? I mean, listen, they tried to kind of rein that in, like New Egypt started it with like trying to match Grandview's, over in Pennsylvania, Grandview and Big Diamond's rule package with the spec motors. And then Bridgeport did it. And now I think New Egypt, you can still run whatever you want. You can just bring whatever, and they have the different engine combinations. I'm pretty sure Bridgeport does the same thing to try to accommodate people, just to get cars to come from different racetracks. I don't know if that's really, if too many motor combinations is really a problem. But the cost, Tanner's point of the cost is definitely where we're at. I mean, 20,000 plus for a motor, and that's a good motor from what I understand. I'm a crate bum, so I don't really know what the spec motors are really going for these days, but it's up there, and to get something good, you're probably talking maybe even 30 plus, and for a spec motor, for a 358 spec motor, it's crazy. Who's going to be able to do that? Not many people now. Right, yeah, Corey, Albany, Saratoga does. Yeah. And that's great. And I'm glad to see that. Really glad to see that their car counts are good. That's awesome. But that's one racetrack. You know, I can go through the list. I'm gonna go through the list, and I don't want to sit here and I would hate to have to go and sit here and tell you how many modifieds were in the feature. Well, we already talked about Bridgeport. You know, they had, what was it, twin 25s at Devil's Bowl where Mike ran on Saturday. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 cars at Devil's Bowl on a Saturday night for twin 25s. You know, Land of Legends. It's looking like somewhere in the 16 to 17 car range. Lebanon Valley, probably around the same, maybe around 20. I mean, I'm not saying we shouldn't be happy having 20 cars, because that's good. But we should be striving for more. Doing something trying to find something to make this better. And unfortunately, it's just the way it is right now, where things cost a lot. And we have an expensive hobby. Ladies and gentlemen. We have our fun hobby is expensive. It's unfortunate. Tanner saying, yeah, 35,000 plus for, yeah. Exactly, man. Like, it's insane. It's insane. You don't have to have rush seals, Russell. I don't know if you just mean that you can have rush seals. You don't have to have rush seals. Right, Jim. Exactly. They should. Yeah, 20 was like, you spend 20 and you're like, okay, I got a good motor and I can compete. Bullshit. Well, yeah, Russell, a Hutter motor. Dang, we're not talking about Hutter motors. Ah, dang. Yeah, 60 grand. That's it. Daniel bringing up a point. Grandview had 36 modified this week. What did they do to get that many? Because Grandview used to have 50 something, and now they're just dropping down at the same rate, where, you know, we're, again, I'll just use New Egypt as an example. You know, they were 30, 40 cars. Now they're down in the, you know, the mid 20s. Grandview used to have 50, probably almost 60. Actually, they would probably have more if they didn't have, back then they only had the modifieds and the late models. They'd probably have more if they weren't running Sportsman. They would have their 50 to 60 modifieds. And Grandview does a great job. They keep it simple. You can have decent equipment at Grandview and probably win. It's a little bit easier for those guys to race there with good stuff. My opinion. Well, Philip bringing up a good point when it comes to New Egypt here. Do we just race every Friday? Maybe. I don't know if that's the answer. I don't know if the answer is for one of these tracks to go to a Friday. I don't know if that's the answer or not. Maybe it is. But I don't know if that many guys, I mean, if I went through the list of guys that race Bridgeport and New Egypt, I'm not seeing many guys that are going to run both nights. Modifieds or crates. I'll just leave this one up here. Mine is a great driver, Stan. There you go. Mike Mahaney. Devil's Bowl at 18. I counted 17. But I'll take your word for it. I'm not gonna beat you up over one car. Land of Legends 19. Lebanon had 24. Yeah, I saw Lebanon had 24. Fulton had 29. Well, good. That's good. But not everybody's getting those car counts where everybody was getting those car counts before. I thought my photography was expensive, but it doesn't touch racing costs. Absolutely. Fine art. You got it. Top big blocks are over 60. Jim, you said it. Russell, Grandview is, but I mean, this is just this year. I don't think that's not drawing cars there. They had, honestly, they had about the same amount of cars. So I don't, everyone just kind of switched. They didn't lose anybody, I don't believe, with that rule change. And I don't think they really gained anybody either. I mean, maybe a car or two one way or the other. Drag rubber and alcohol. Jim, you're asking for trouble there, buddy. Ed checking in from Melbourne, Florida. How are you doing? I'm doing good, man. How are you doing? Thanks for stopping in. We've got a great conversation going on today. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button for me. That really helps me out, and I appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out and talking with me a little bit here. We're chilling. I appreciate the great conversation. Let's get into the Dirt Track Untold boys and how they made out. We've already touched on how Mike's week was a little bit here and there as we've gone along. Mike started off his 4th of July week on the 2nd, on Wednesday, taking the win up at Can-Am. So congrats. Golf claps all around for Mike Mahaney for smooth shoe. Starting off his week strong with a win up at Can-Am. Then Thursday night went to Land of Legends. Solid 7th place run. And then, excuse my language, go ahead and drop something in the swear jar for me. But both boys had a shit night Friday at Albany, Saratoga. I'm not going to go much further into it. I haven't watched enough of the video to really make too much of a comment. And I think Billy kind of asked me not to say anything. He didn't want to say much about the whole Friday night at Albany, Saratoga. But both boys running into some issues. And I'll leave it at that. Mike with a 19th and Billy going up there and running the 76 car and finishing 22nd. But Billy would rebound on Saturday at New Egypt, bring home a 2nd. Just didn't have quite enough to catch up to Davy Salmons. But a strong 14th to 2nd place run for Billy. And then Mike in the twin 25s that we were just talking about at Devil's Bowl. Mike taking 3rd in both of them. So good for Mike. On Saturday night as well, 2 thirds ain't bad. And then Sunday, capping off the holiday weekend and his 5 races in a row, would come home 7th at Weedsport Speedway. So, great 5-race run for Michael. And a so-so weekend for Billy between Friday and Saturday. But a good run at New Egypt to cap off his weekend. We're going to get in. Let's put up what we have for a schedule upcoming for the Dirt Track Untold driver roster. With Billy running tomorrow at New Egypt Speedway for the Short Track Super Series. Guys, we didn't even talk. We haven't really brought that up at all yet. So we got the Short Track Super Series tomorrow, as long as the rain holds off, which it looks like we're dialed in for some good race and some clear weather for tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll see Billy Pauch Jr. running at New Egypt. Then Wednesday, BP3's over at Action Track, Kutztown Speedway. Bringing the slingshot out. And then Friday, you'll have Mike going back to Albany, Saratoga. Billy will be at Georgetown. Saturday, you'll have Billy at New Egypt. And then Sunday, Billy will be going to Orange County. New Egypt The Short Track Super Series race will be on Flow, so if you can't be in New Egypt tomorrow night, you can watch it on Flow Racing. Action Track, I believe, is on Dirt Track Digest TV. Albany Saratoga is the same. Georgetown has its own streaming setup. You'd have to go to their website for that. I don't remember what it's called, but they do have a streaming on. They did have it the last time that Billy was racing there. And then New Egypt, obviously, they are free on their YouTube channel on Saturday nights. And Orange County, I'm not sure what's going to be going on for that. What kind of streaming option they'll have for that? Maybe Dirt Track Digest has it. I'm not entirely sure. Streaming option for that one, I don't know. So if you can't be there in person, you can stream it. Guys, I'll leave the schedule up here if you want to take a gander at it. Phil, where did Mike Mahaney race Saturday night? He was at Devil's Bowl up in Vermont, laying down twin thirds. Solid night of racing. Dave, I was at Albany Saratoga, and let's just say the pits were quiet after the show. All right. Everybody can have their own opinion about it. Hoping the weather changes for the Short Track Super Series, but it's looking, guys, it is looking good for tomorrow. It was trending not so great for the past few days when it came to tomorrow racing at New Egypt for the Short Track Super Series. Now it is looking pretty good, so much so that we are thrashing to get that short load concrete 04 ready. And by we, I mean mostly Michael. Michael Butler is thrashing to get that car dialed in after Saturday. So I won't be answering on the phone a lot tomorrow. I'll probably be getting a race car. As Papa Clay says, fresh from the pit jack, if you're not at New Egypt Speedway tomorrow night, you're wrong. Just said it over on Facebook. If you're not here, you're wrong. Yeah, I got what you meant. Dave, I'm sure there were some unhappy people over there. Take the schedule down. If you need to see the schedule, let me know. Yeah, I can imagine they were not having so much fun after all the after everything that went down. Not so much fun, I'm sure. All right, we'll run through the modifieds and their results up here. Like I said, we already talked about some of them. Since we have last chatted, I wasn't live during the feature event, but we were talking about Mohawk while the heat races and stuff were live last Monday. But Stuart Friesen would end up picking up the win in that Super Dirt Car Series race. Yeah, so we'll start it off there. Mike did not have such a great showing by the end of that one, and I think Mike ended up 18th. Yeah, it was not such a great ending after fast time and all that. Then the Short Track Super Series was at Fonda on Wednesday, with Stuart Friesen picking up the win over Matt Shepard and Alex Yankowski. The same night, at the same time, the Dirt Car 358 Modifieds, we were at Can-Am where Mike Mahaney would pick up the win. So congrats to Mike on getting that one. Utica Rome on Thursday, Peyton Talbot picking up the win. Utica Rome, 358 race. Land of Legends, Matt Williamson would pick up the win. Like I talked about, Mike, I think, was 7th. Tri-City Raceway. Eric Rudolph pick up the win up there. Matt Shepard picking up the win at Alcohol. Matt Shepard picking up the win at Outlaw Speedway on Friday. Friday at Mohawk, back at Mohawk, Lance Willocks in a regular show there would pick up the win. Let's see. Kyle Devendorf picking up the win at Brewerton on Friday. Big Diamond. In the first Twin 20, you had Brett Cressley. In the second Twin 20, you had Loudon Reimert. So Brett Cressley and Loudon Reimert picking up the wins at Big Diamond on Friday night, 4th of July. Autodrome Granby, you had David A. Bear picking up the win on Friday. Matt DiLorenzo picked up the win at Albany Saratoga. We talked about Mike and Billy not having great nights at Albany. We'll leave it at that. Darren Smith picking up the win at Thunder Mountain on Saturday. Then New Egypt Speedway, Davey Salmons over Billy Pauch Jr. and Danny Buck with the win. Merrittville, Brad Rouse with the win at Merrittville. John Vergalio. First time I've seen that name. Sorry. Hey, congrats to John for the win at Lebanon Valley Speedway. And then Ryan Larkin also picking up the win at Lebanon Valley on Saturday. Land of Legends on Saturday was win for Matt Williamson. John Kellner Sr. picking up the win in Grandview Speedway on Saturday. Fulton Speedway, Tim Sears Jr. with the win over Billy Dunn. And at Fonda, a last corner win for Stuart Friesen at Fonda on Saturday night. Felix Waugh and Dave Camara with the wins at Devil's Bowl. Mike Mahaney finishing 3rd and nose, respectively. Kevin Herthler with the win at Bridgeport on Saturday. Afton Motorsports Park, Danny Creedon picking up the win. The Dirt Car 358s at Weedsport yesterday. Matt Williamson picked up the win there. Mike Mahaney finished 7th. And then we had Cornwall with Ryan Stabler pick up the win at Cornwall yesterday, Sunday. There's your modified results for the weekend, your Northeast modified results. Philip, I hope the weather holds out on Saturday night for the news, wingless, modified, and street stocks, and the crate sportsman. If I read the schedule right, I'm supposed to be going on Saturday too. Yeah, the weather's, again, it's kind of up and down right now, so we'll see. Hopefully we get good weather for tomorrow and Saturday. We'll get some racing in all week. Well, for tomorrow and Saturday, be nice. We're hoping. Jessica, good evening. How you doing? Clay, you took care of them over there on Facebook. Appreciate it. Good. That's what you're here for. There you go, Philip. There you go. 602 Sportsman as well. And the rookies. May or may not be the rookie finale. I'm not sure. I haven't really seen anything about it. It's what I understand, but I don't know for sure. Some reminders for y'all that we are fast approaching the Pauch Racing Open House, July 20th. Guys, it's in 2 weeks. So less than 2 weeks. Sunday, July 20th, the Pauch Racing Open House from 12 to 4 o'clock over at the Pauch Racing Compound in Frenchtown, New Jersey. All the information is on Facebook. You can actually join the event. say that you're coming, and then you'll get all the updates for the event. I believe both Billy and Mike racing pages they're posting all the updates along with the Dirt Track Untold Facebook, so you can get all the updates there. For the first time ever, there will be an event shirt that you can get at the open house, documenting some of the highlights for all the drivers. Big Bill, Billy Jr., Mike. There's going to be some sort of concoction of a shirt. I don't know anything else other than that. But it'll be an event shirt available for everybody, so you can commemorate the event going on that you went to. I'm sure it's going to be great. Mandee's designing it, so it's obviously going to be a great looking shirt. That'll be available along with new merch for Mike, Billy, and Dirt Track Untold. That'll all be at the open house on July 20th. Come out and see Mike, Billy, BP3, Billy Sr., myself, Mandee, a bunch of other drivers and racing people, all having a good time. There's going to be all the cars will be on display. The rebuild of one of Billy's cars, that'll be on display. I almost spilled the beans I almost said what car it is. I know it's still a secret. I gotta dial that in a little bit. But yeah, and you can hang out and meet meet the drivers, meet all the people that are hanging out and hanging around. There's food. There's gonna be live music from an old friend of mine, Sam. We're playing live music there at the event. Lots of stuff for the kids to do as well, because it's a great time. And it's free and open to the public. So come on out, have a good time. Less than 2 weeks. So if you're not, I'm going to quote Clay Butler. If you're not there, you're wrong. Just saying. If you can't wait for the open house or you're not going to be there and you want to get some merch, Billy's merch is available on Bob Hilbert's website, along with BP3's merch. Mike Mahaney's is available on his website, MikeMahaney.com. MikeMahaneyRacing.com, I think it is, actually, sorry. And then the D2 merch is on the Dirt Track Untold website. Guys, there will be, like I said, new merch available at the open house. Come check it out. Come hang out. It's a good time. Let's see. Great question. As far as I understand, yes, I don't think I've ever been to one that was in bad weather, but they always seem to get great weather. So hopefully we're gonna knock on wood. Sorry, this stuff's actually real wood back here. That we're gonna have great weather, great time. Gets a little hot some years, but I believe it is rain or shine. That's right, Dave. We'll see you there. We will see you there. It's going to be a great time. Always a great time. Let's see. Am I missing anything? Oh, I did have... Hang on, guys. I did have... a meme of the week that I will put up here in just a second once I do a couple more comments. Let's see. Tim, hope the weather is good tomorrow and the rest of the week for everyone who's gone racing. That's it. As far as I can see, it's really let's bring the schedule back up. We have, Wednesday doesn't look great, but that's over. I don't know if it's the same out in Pennsylvania. Wednesday doesn't look great when it comes to the weather. It really doesn't look that good. I hate to say it, but it's not looking good. Tomorrow, favorable. It could happen, so that'll be cool. Weekend is another shaky time. Saturday, we'll see. I guess it'll depend on where you are. But yeah, fingers crossed. We get some racing in tomorrow for sure. I would love to get this Short Track Super Series show in tomorrow. I'm sure there's a lot of other people too. Guys, all right, meme of the week. Let me post it here. 2 of them, actually. I got 2 of them. So we got the first one. A little funny. You got that one crew guy at the big shows that just grills the whole weekend. There he is. That one got me. Everybody knows this guy. You got a weekend show, even if you're not racing. There's this guy. Sitting on the grill. Got a beverage in one hand. He's got the spatula in the other. And he's flipping away. And he's happier than anybody else at that racetrack. Because he's having the time of his life. Jeez. Oh, man. Crazy that guy owned a couple of race cars in Days of Thunder. And then I got one more that actually, all right, so I got a second one that really plays into our conversation in this stream and what this stream is really going to be titled about. Jim, you need that guy? I could be that guy for you. I don't mind being that guy for you. You're right, Led. That would be... Come on, man. Hang on. Facebook here. Raymond, did you see the late model at Sonoya Speedway that went into the... Yes. So, I had that clip. I had both angles. And I was ready to load them in for my, for some video stuff on the stream. I stopped myself and did as much due diligence as I could to try to find out if I could find anything about any of the guys that were the people in the video. Guys, if you haven't seen, I mean, it's written over here, the Sonoya Speedway incident with the late model just riding up into the catch fence. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure somebody you know has, and they can send it to you, and you can watch it on your own if you want. I'm not going to play it on here. Because I don't know how the people are that were the ones that were hit by essentially hit by the race car. They were and knocked over and stuff. I'm not going to play it on here. I didn't feel like it was right, not knowing 100% if those people were okay. I had heard that because there was pretty much 3 people in the video that you see get kind of blasted back. The one person, they went for a ride and they got rocked, and they don't move the whole time in the video. And that person I heard was not doing so great. So I out of respect for that person, didn't want to put the video up, not knowing 100% that they were okay. The other 2 people I heard were shaken up, but were doing fine. Just by reading all the comments from everywhere the videos are, you try to. You can have somebody say on there, all 3 people are doing fine, but you don't know for sure. Again, I guess my fault for not being able to check sources and really get any answers about if anybody knew anything. But again, just didn't feel comfortable playing it on here. Raymond, I appreciate it. Yeah. Saying, 2 were released, 1 never went to the hospital, was treated at the track. That may be true. You may be 100% right. I don't know that for sure, but I'm not going to play the clip on here. But I did see it. We saw it that night. Mike and I were riding back from the racetrack, and he was sent it, and we both watched. And later that night, the next morning, I was scrolling, and it came up on my feed and stuff. And then eventually, both angles, one from the track camera and the one that everyone saw from the pit stand. Pretty crazy. Wild wreck. And it just, all I'll say is remind the people that you go to the racetrack with, you remind your kids, everybody, don't stand next to the catch fence. That's it. But if you want to find the video, it's everywhere. I will not be playing. Last meme, again, kind of goes with the theme of what we were talking about before. Kinda, sorta. When do I start making money racing? That's the neat part. You don't. How do you make what's the old saying? How do you make $1 million? How do you make $1 million driving race cars? You start with 2 million. It's the old saying. I love this meme. This meme gets used for a lot of things. When do I start making money racing? That's the neat part. You don't. When is Billy Pauch Jr. and Mike Mahaney racing Bridgeport Motorsports Park? I don't know. I mean, I would imagine maybe there's a race at the end of the season that they might be attending. Maybe I would assume that the Serrano Memorial is still a thing. That might be something that Mike might be doing. I don't know what Billy's schedule involves with going back to Bridgeport, but there's a good chance you could see both of them over there again this year. But I don't have a definitive there. So. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Really, listen, everybody. That is, yeah, I figure that they're never going to get rid of the Serrano Memorial, but I just don't know if it's something that aligns with their schedule, with, when it comes to Mike's schedule. Billy's it probably does, but Mike's not sure. Guys, great conversations today. I really appreciate everyone chatting away over on Facebook and here on Facebook and here on YouTube. I'm in both places here. I really appreciate everybody. This show still really doesn't have a great identity. I'm just up here just kind of yammering on like an idiot, and I appreciate you all coming in, hanging out, and you know, talking about what you want to talk about, you know, giving me some feedback, going back and forth, talking about what's going on in racing around us, and I really appreciate you kind of helping me keep this thing going. Again, thanks to Mandee and Mike for giving me something to do here. This is a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. If you are, make sure you hit the like button wherever you are, whether it's on Facebook or on YouTube. And guys, if you're going to be at New Egypt Speedway tomorrow and you see me bumming around and I'm not thrashing on a race car, come say hi. Appreciate you all. Enjoy the rest of your Monday night, and we'll see you at the racetrack as soon as possible. Have a good night, everybody. See ya.